Now what happened, of course, is interesting, is that, like I was talking to Tom just now, it didn't work out the way that I wanted it to. Bartman set up everything for me. Everything, anything that I could have thought of as far as the future in art, he set up everything for me, and he pushed me, gave me strategies, bought my paints sometime, bought canvases for me sometime. And so it came to the place where I was ready, and he chose my school too. And he said, you're going to do this first, you're going to do that second. And Art Center had interviewed me, and they wanted me to take a year off of school to work on an automotive design portfolio. Bartman says, no, take this full scholarship from Center for Creative Studies, work on that. He got me an internship and more money with Ford Motors. I mean, Jay will tell you, Jay and I were very, very close friends throughout high school. I was, to be serious, I thought it was not in me, but he was guiding me, leading me. And I remember that when I graduated, I had a dilemma because on one side, he had set up everything for me, and I loved the man to death. But on the other side, something else was happening in my heart and in my spirit. And so I went to Center for Creative Studies. And when I got there, I told the counselor, I said, ma'am, I can't stay here. I have a different calling in life. My family flipped out. I threw away all this money, and I think some of the National Associates for the Art, they told me they would keep certain grants for me for X amount of years. The school told me they would keep this amount of money for X amount of years. I had no problem saying no to them and throwing away basically this path. My father was very upset. My mother was upset. All my siblings were upset. But the only person that I was scared to face was Bartman. I came back that summer, and and more than being afraid, and I love my dad, but more than being afraid to tell my own father, I had a hard time telling Bartman this. So I came to see him after class. He was asking me how things are going, and for about an hour I was beating around the bush. We were talking, and then finally I told him, it was right outside of the classroom in the back. I told him, I said, Mr. Bartman, I quit school, and I believe my calling in life is to be a minister. He looked at me and paused for a good 10 seconds. I'm thinking, come on, say something. And I'll never forget the words he told me. He says, Patrick, I admire you. He says, because not many people at your age can make that commitment of that type. Now again, I'm not talking about necessarily religion, whatever it is, but it was totally different path altogether. And the person I was most concerned about, more than my own parents and relatives, was Bartman. And I remember the other class students I did the year after me. I don't know if Jeremy was there, but Raymond Narabu was. I was close friends with him. He had one more year, and then he said, he told me, I don't know if it's true, but he told me that he started the year off by saying, Patrick Lendo gave up art to become a priest. And then he said that you always used to talk about it. And but years have passed, and really I don't want to talk more, but I wanted this to be a time of appreciation for how you have just transformed lives. And I know that if we were allowed to, if we all could have been here, there'd be thousands of people here just saying how much you impacted our lives, even if we're not in art today. Even if we're not, and I could go on and on talking about your instruction. How I was just having a little debate now with some of them about seeing how some of your students came in with very little ability, but you taught them how to see. And so many of your quotes, no matter where I am, I'm always quoting back and forth, left and right. Anyway, I'll close my words, and I just wanted to really thank you so much for having had such an impact on my life.
Does anybody have anything else they'd like to add?
I got just a quick anecdote, which is that are there any current Whitman faculty teachers here? Okay, it wasn't you, so it's okay.
Oh, no.
No, that's okay. I mean, I just want to make sure because I don't want to be offensive. But when I went to visit colleges after high school, I'd go into the art rooms, and I was shocked that at a college level, I guess I was kind of a snob without knowing it, but I just looked around the rooms at great colleges, and it kind of looked like stick figures, all the paintings. And And so I just thought to myself, well, I guess, obviously I already had a tremendous appreciation for Bartman, but I also thought, it must be a mixture of Bartman being an incredible teacher and also that maybe, it's an area, Whitman had good academics, and it might be sort of, a crop of good DNA kind of in this area with, bright parents that also support their students. And I visited Bartman, maybe my first or second year when I was in college. It was great to see him, and he talked to me definitely, but while he was talking to me, I was definitely going around the room doing, like you said, like just putting a little thing here or mentioning, look at the darks, look at the lights, things change as they move across the canvas. But then I came back 2 years later to visit him, and it was the year after he had left. And I walked into the room, and the current teacher was there, and he was a very nice person, but I didn't really talk to him much, I just realized that he had left. But I looked at the walls, and it uniformly looked like all those colleges that I visited. I mean, it was a completely different world. So it just made me realize one man had, again, looking at the work here, different kinds of work. And as you said, not everyone's still a painter, and people are doing it, their art in a different way. But, thank you for being that guy to do that.